James Hilder for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're in Scotland today, history in the making. Ricky Burns versus Michele De Rocco for the WBA Super title. With me, I'm joined by none other than Heady Hearn. How are you?
Heady Hearn?
How are you, alright?
You need some product in your hair.
Right, it's been a long flight.
What about Michele De Rocco's barnet?
He looks like...
He's had the plugs.
When
he came for the first press conference, he was like barnet back, a little bit receding, a bit bloated in the face. Now he's turned up looking like an absolute Italian god. He's like little sort of quiff fringe.
What do you make of De Rocco? I mean, he's ruled in the European level for so long, undefeated in 6 years. Few controversial wins along the way, I must say, but what do you make of him?
I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think the advantage lays with De Rocco in the size and the fact that he's a genuine 140-pounder. I think Ricky is probably caught in the middle of lightweight and light welterweight. But of course, an opportunity comes up like this, and you can't turn it down. So I think Ricky's up against it in terms of the size, but what he lacks in size, he makes up with in heart, determination, and a set of nuts. And 8,000 strong Scottish crowd at the Hydro is going to be something else on Saturday night, and I can't wait. I'm going to just be at the edge of my seat, just willing him on, and it's going to be a very, very special night if he does the business, and I believe he will.
Scotland's got a rich history of fighting. It's a fighting nation, a fighting country, very angry people in general. I mean, if Ricky Burns does sort of come through this, as we hope he does this light up Scotland again? Does it make this territory more...
I know Ricky's sick and tired of talking about the fact that he's got the weight of Scottish boxing on his shoulders. He's had it his whole career, you know. And when we first signed Ricky, you know, he had the Gonzalez fight at the Emirates. Turned out to be a really tough fight. Then he had the Beltran fight. You know, Beltran's gone on to show how good he is at world level. He broke Ricky's jaw. He came back, and the fight he had to take when he came back was Terence Crawford, who we knew how good was then, but obviously he's gone on to prove that he is, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. And I think Ricky lost that fight 115, 113 or 116, 112, and that was actually a good performance. The Zlatikanin fight, you know, no one really knew a lot about Zlatikanin. Now he goes on to be a bit of a beast at 135 pound, and then Ricky goes and has one fight and fights Omar Figueroa. So his CV is stellar, and I think that, you know, Scottish boxing in general, you know, they're very passionate people. You say angry people. I'm not sure about angry, but you know, we get a lot of stick for not coming to Scotland, but we need the excuse to come. You know, we need that headline act. We need that headline fight. You know, and the fight that we were looking at, which was a final eliminator for Flanagan's belt against Zepeda, didn't really feel like it was the fight to return to Scotland with. So this is a chance to make history. Free-weight world champions don't happen anymore in boxing.
Duke McKenzie, Bob Fitzsimmons.
Bob Fitzsimmons moved to New Zealand when he was 8, I think. So
Stewards, does that rule him out then?
No, I guess he's British, but I've been missing that one out in the build-up, so that was my reason why. But no, listen, it's a massive fate to accomplish, and it's going to be a special night, special weekend. You know, straight back from here to watch Bellew. We had another report from the Everton ticket sales, absolutely flying, and we had 3.5 weeks to sell this event. If I had 8 weeks to sell this event, I believe we could have done 25,000. So that's going to be a great night, Bank Holiday Sunday at Everton and Scotland as well. Great card. John Lewis Dickinson against Tommy McCarthy, cruiserweight. It's a fantastic fight.
Limon Nurse
is a great fight. I think Willie's really up against it, but he's got huge support.
You'd never rule against, bet against?
No, I mean, look, last time he boxed Curtis Woodhouse, he didn't school Curtis, but he won the fight comfortably. And this is a different proposition. Tyrone Nurse is very difficult to beat. You have to have power, you have to have work rate, and you have to get on top of him early. If you let him get in the rhythm, if you let him dictate the pace, he's one of the most difficult fighters to beat in the division, certainly domestically, of course. Conor Benn, he's got a tough little fight against Luke Kelleher. I mean, you know, this is a guy, Kelleher, who I know he's got some losses on his record, but he's actually here to win.
He didn't look impressed by Conor Benn,
No, he's here to win. He tries nuts off, and he's live on TV in front of 8,000 people. You've got Anthony Ogogo on the bill, you've got John Ryder on the bill, you've got Charlie Flynn on the bill, Joe Ham on the bill. You've got about another 4 or 5 Scottish kids on the bill as well. So, you know, I'm excited to be back in Scotland, and all fingers crossed for Mr. Burns to make history.
Just coming on to Ricky Burns, if he is successful, do you think that makes him the most successful Scottish boxer in history, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's been some great Scottish fighters in the history books. Jim Watt, of course, who works for Sky. Ken Buchanan, as well, and
Benny Lynch.
the flyweight, very good,
like
very
that
good,
one?
James.
You like that one?
I'm glad you said that because I forgot his name.
Gorball's legend.
Yes, absolutely. But I think to win a world title at 3 different weights, I think he has to go down as the most successful Scottish fighter of all time. It's not with Ricky. I don't mean this sort of the wrong way. He's a simple character. He leads a simple life. He lives for training. He lives for fighting, and he lives, of course, for his family. And even if Ricky, I could see Ricky like having 6 rounders at like 45 years of age. He would always want to be in the sport, even in 4 rounds. He would settle for being a journeyman. I swear to God, because that's how much he loves it. And if you knew him, and if you knew his attitude for the sport and his attitude in training, I can't tell you how much you would be behind this man on Saturday night. So please do so. Get behind him. Let's hope for 2 more British World Champions at the weekend. First up, Ricky Burns, Hydro Arena, WBA light welterweight title, Michele De Rocco, freeweight world champion, history in the making. We out.
We're in. We're done.
We're out.
We're done. On that note, thank you very much for giving us time today. I'll
Cheers,
catch
mate.
you real soon. Thank you
Cheers.
very much.